Ukrainian parliament rejects resolution supporting Zelensky. DPA International. A resolution reaffirming the legitimacy of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky failed to secure no backing to pass in the Ukrainian parliament on Monday. At a special session of the Ukrainian parliament, the Verkhovna Rada, convened to mark the third anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion, the resolution received 218 votes, falling short of the 22.6 votes needed to pass. Some 54 members of parliament present in the meeting room did not take part in the vote, including 8 representatives. Below are your comments. Without parliamentary support, international agreements such as a prospective peace treaty with Russia or a proposed raw materials agreement with the US cannot be ratified and come into force. This vote may be one, providing cover for Zelensky, allowing him to say I can't make an Mies thinks number one as Trump has been going after him publicly. Trump and Musk really want to get their hands on those minerals. If only we could force the politicians to actually fight in their nation's wars, there would be no wars. So the number of members who did not vote ensures that no peace can be obtained by Zelensky, by himself. Thus he cannot sign any agreement without Parliament's sufficient vote to ratify any such document. Trump needs to court the Parliament also, not just Zelensky. So much for the dictator talk going around. There is a 0% chance that Ukraine will agree to any agreement conducted without being represented at the table. Ukraine has been in a condition of martial law due to the 3 years of war that followed the Russian invasion of February 24, 2022, under the Ukrainian constitution. You ever notice the ones that are for more war will not be personally fighting in that war? What is he fighting for? To govern over Russian-populated areas or a seat on NATO that is already falling apart even without Trump, as the wind's direction is turning to the right. During the U.S. Civil War, elections were held in 1862 and 1864. The Confederacy had elections in 1862. Even during the Blitz, Great Britain had elections during WW2. Are we really supporting a democratic government? Why should President Trump and the United States of America support a war run by a leader that his own people refuse to support? And that has no real power unless his people endorse him? Nobody ever mentioned mineral rights whilst Biden was occupying space. More proofs that he's a dictator? Stay past his term since May last year. Suspend elections for martial laws. Ask SK about that. And now Ukraine parliament proves they don't support him. Despite what the mainstream media says, this just goes to show Zelensky is not that popular. No country can support Ukraine in long term, including US. How much longer will this war go? They want to fight, then fight. US must take care. US first. US is 5 years from bankruptcy. Any cutting that help US should be cut. How can you have a legitimate election while Russia continues bombing Ukraine? A large part of the country can't vote due to Russian occupation. Ukraine parliament also knows a dictator when they see one. Putin has won 5 rigged elections and bleeped the opposition every step of the way. We can't seem to condemn that. And now we're going to take his criticisms of Zelensky's legitimacy seriously? Now that Zelensky can't get more US funds, Parliament no longer has confidence. Surprise! This article is somewhat confusing and may be contradictory as it states that while a resolution failed to declare the legitimacy of his presidency, it also clearly stated there cannot be any elections. While the country is at war, from the attack under Russian aggression due to doesn't matter what the aggressor Putin thinks or feels or Trump, neither Russia or US rules, laws apply to other countries, even though Russia's attempt to take Ukraine and do that has failed and now in year 3. People of Ukraine are tired of the war and they are willing to give up some land to end it. I think Zelensky thinks the US is just going to continue to fund this meat grinder. Putin has pushed too many chips to the middle of the table to back down, and Ukraine just can't win without troops from the US or other major power. With no more funding coming from the US, the Ukraine war is over. Europe can only provide lip service and would never come up with any money, despite the fact that EY are in the crosshairs of Russian expansion. Finally, Biden's war spending comes to an end. Zelensky needs to lift the martial law proclamation and have elections immediately to show face of his honest commitment to democracy. We here in the US have gone through 6 wars and had elections during each one. Maybe that's why they voted this way. Now comedian of indefinitely cancelled elections can't put high signature to any agreement, so the war can go on. Rolling on the floor laughing popcorn. It's easy to mess around in Ukraine right now. Sharks are turning around the prey as they're hung. Right to take power. The inflated Poroshenko can't wait to take the seat again. So the majority of Ukrainian parliament feels he needs to step down. This just got interesting. I hope crews are filming and they turn that junk into a reality show. Come on, Mr. Zelensky is trying to do what is best for his country. Did anyone else step up and stand by his side when the war started? No, was along and as brave of a man there could be. I believe he is a man that can be trusted. This young man has stood as firm as he knows how to stand, and still the few that thinks is less important that they are does not want to give him a try. In the time when men, women and children need help they are denied, all of you should be ashamed. Ray for Mr. Zelensky to stand tall and look to God for the strength he needs to show the others has qualified to be the president of his country, and he has proven it over and over. I pray for God to bless this country and bless me. Zelensky. Smart move. Without parliamentary support, international agreements such as a prospective peace treaty with Russia, the discussion of which has thus far excluded Zelensky, or a proposed raw materials agreement with the US cannot be ratified and come into force. If I were Zelensky, I would use the off-ramp. Let them do it themselves. Yahoo, we do not censor, we just reject. Well done once again, Yahoo. You are living in a democracy, no dictatorship, and your rejections of comments are going too far now. So Trump was right to criticize him since his term ended 9 months ago and he's clinging to power. ONL. Why? Because of martial law. His offer to step aside for peace is also hollow, since he should have stepped aside last May anyway. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.